What's up, nail geeks, and welcome to a new Rogue Lacquer video. It's been a hot minute since we've had Rogue on the channel, so I'm super excited to bring her back. I've got a ton to show you guys for this launch. At the time that this video goes up, these are already released in the shop, so just happy to throw my swatches and my work in the ring for you guys if you're making choices and whatnot on what to pick up for this month. So I've got the milk tea collection. Those are very nice for those of us who appreciate Rogue's flakes, which in my opinion, she's the flaky queen. I've got the Barbie quad to check out, and I'm hoping I get to see it soon. I'm stoked and pumped to see the movie, so I'm hoping I'm chanting a little bit of Barbie vibes in this video. But I've also got her Hot Mess Express neons to check out. These were inspired by, or rather dreamed up with, Latanya of Lacquer 2 Lashes. She's a swatcher, so if you haven't checked her out, I'm shocked if you haven't yet. She's a beautiful human and brings the most positive energy. I love her to pieces, and she's a little bit my girl crush in the community. I love her so much, so go check her out, and we have to thank her for getting Rogue Neon Creams. So I think these are available to what is currently poured. She said she has a lot of a big batch, but just in case, I want to let you guys know, I do think that there are not plans to just keep them around. I don't know, we'll see. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Anyways, we have a ton to check out. In terms of the neons, I did test them for stamping. They dry down very matte, true matte, which is very indicative to true neon pigments. So they were a little tricky to stamp. If you're really, really good at stamping, it works, but you have to be quick on it. So because of that, I personally feel like I wouldn't super classify them as stamping. If you're an intermediate or even a novice at stamping, you're going to have some trouble. So just wanted to throw that out there. I did do a three comparison with the stamping on the pinks that I'll show you guys at the end to show how different those colors are. Neons are just notorious for being awful to photograph, to swatch, whatever. They're very, very tricky to get accurate. So because of that, I felt like this, when I did the stamping test, you could see the difference on the three colors for the pinks. So I kept that, and we're going to see that at the end if you're curious the difference between them. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start off with the milk tea collection, then we're going to get started on the Barbie quad, and then we're going to finish off with the neons. So let's check them out. First up, we've got Chai Latte. This is a creamy pale coffee toned crelly base with orange to gold glass flake. So this is very neutral. I feel like this is gonna definitely play up against your undertones. I'm very warm undertones, so I feel like it kind of almost blended in with my skin tone because of that nice warm undertone to me. For opacity, I'm gonna suggest going up to 3 thin coats. This does have a nice squish factor, so go in lightly. It dries down very nicely, and it gives you that beautiful mosaic of flakes. And next we've got Matcha Latte. This is a creamy matcha green crelly with green to gold glass flakes. This is such a fun, bright type of green. It's flirting with being neon when you build it up, in my opinion, but not quite that eye-searing sort of green. This also applies very similar to Chai Latte. I'm going to suggest going to 3 thin coats. Of course, you are more than welcome to do 2 normal coats. I personally like the most maximum amount of flakes on my nails, especially for Rogue flakes. So I typically will go a touch thinner on her polishes just so I can get that most pond effect that I possibly can. I would suggest going in with a good plumping or thicker glossy top coat, as these do dry down just a touch on the thirsty side because they're so packed. And next is Strawberry Milk Tea. This is a creamy pale pink with pink to orange glass flake. To me, the base flirts with being a touch purple undertoned. As you build it up, it obviously pops more pink as more of this lighter strawberry milk sort of pinky appearance, but I do see a lavender undertone happening here. Again, 3 light coats is perfect. You can kind of get an idea between my layers here of that plumping factor. So obviously went in quite thin. Again, finish with a good glossy top coat and you're good to go. And next up is my personal favorite. This one's Taro Milk Tea, described as a creamy pale purple crelly with purple to pink glass flake. Honestly, for bubble tea, boba tea, what have you, I personally love taro. So that's my favorite flavor. I will always get it. And the few times I've deviated from that flavor, I've instantly regretted it. Not to say that other flavors I've tried are not delicious, but taro will always have my heart. So I took taro also up to 3 light coats. This also, again, has an identical formula to the other 3. I'm repeating myself here. I think an all 4 in the Cuppa Deliciousness collection have this wonderful iridescent glow from the flakes, but this one, I think it popped just a touch more vampy. And next we have the Life in Plastic. It's fantastic. The Barbie quad. You can grab these for $42 for the 4 or $11.50 to $12.50 each, depending on which ones you're looking at. So first up, we've got You're Beautiful. This is a bright Barbie pink with vibrant shimmer and scattered hollow flake flecks. So I needed to do my toes this week, and this 100,000% was my first pick, and it's currently on my toes. It's so lovely, and it looks really cute in my flip-flops. This has a neon type of feel to how it applies. It dries down harshly matte, so I would suggest a good glossy top coat to get that shimmer to sing. There's a lovely gold shift at more extreme angles, and it's 2 coats of creamy, perfect formula, and you're good to go. This is such a ridiculously flattering pink. And next we've got I'm Knuff. This is a neon yellow crelly with magenta and blue metallic shreds. Now this also has a true neon formula, and it also dries down harshly matte. So depending on what type of top coat you're using, if you're going in with something thinner, I would suggest maybe using a glitter smoothing top coat, maybe. Just gonna depend. If your top coat is just a touch thicker, then that is Knuff. See what I did there? I think 2 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. If you choose to wear this mattified, then I would definitely say you're gonna need a glitter smoothing top coat. Up next is Every Night's Girls Night. This is described as a scattered hollow and reflective gold glitter topper. So this one, I of course wore 100% by itself. I saw hollow, I saw reflective glitter, and I was like, okay, it's Barbie, so we have to go all out. And you can absolutely wear this by itself. I would suggest going up to 3 coats if so, and just use the previous coat's texture from those reflective glitters to build up your opacity. I think 3 light coats is perfect. You're definitely going to want to finish with a glitter smoothing top coat underneath your glossy top coat, regardless of as a topper or by itself, because of course reflective glitters give us quite a bit of thirstiness and a bit of a gritty texture. And finally, for the Barbie collection, we've got Beach Off. This is described as an aqua jelly with pink, orange, and gold iridescent flake. So this has more of a milky sort of sheer finish to it, purposely done, I'm going to go out on a whim and say. I'm going to suggest 3 coats for it. It does give you a lovely soft pond effect as you go up on your coats. I think 2 layers might be perfect if you have shorter nails, but if you have any sort of a free edge, I think 3 light coats is perfect. How many times can I say coats? I swear I'm just saying it so much, so I apologize for any redundancy. Anyways, Beach Off does dry down semi-gloss, so I think any top coat is perfect. And next up, we've got the Hot Mess Express Neon Set. You can grab these for $10.50 each or $95 for the set. And first up, we've got I'm the Problem, It's Me. This is described as a neon hot pink. So this is going to come off skewed. Of course, this entire collection is pretty much going to come off pretty damn skewed no matter what screen you're watching. So just in case, I'm going to be as thorough as possible on the color descriptions. So to me, I'm the Problem is more of a true, straight up, beautiful, hot pink in person. Just straight primary pink. And then we've got Everything is Fine. This one's described as a neon orange cream. I would describe this one as straight up traffic cone orange in person. Again, I know these are going to be so skewed, and on my screen here, on my HDMI screen, I'm seeing a red cast. So just wanted to throw that out there. Across the board, almost every single one is a 2-coater, damn near flirting with being a 1-coater. But neons can be a bit thick in the formula, so I would suggest going in light and letting that beautiful opacity build up slow. And then we've got Sorry Not Sorry. This is a neon lime green cream. So this is straight up limey goodness, very primary colors, I have to say. I'm not seeing really an undertone in most of these. Now, again, for opacity, I think 2 coats is perfect. I think there was 2 out of the collection that I went up to 3 really light coats. And when you see those colors, if you're experienced in neons, you'll see why. And lukewarm regards, these names are hilarious. This one is a bright blue cream. So I think my monitor is making this look just a touch periwinkle. Just in case, this is a straight, true medium blue. No undertones, no lean either way, just straight medium bright blue goodness. So this also had a wonderful formula too, very opaque, and 2 coats with a glossy top coat is perfect. And up next, we've got Just Doing My Best. This is a bright purple cream. So going back to neon formulas, if you're new to indie polishes or polish in general, neon pigments are a bit tricky to work with. So a lot of times they're going to be really thick and they're going to dry down a harsh matte. And that's all 10 polishes in this set. They're all very, very harsh in how they dry down. So of course, on my full hand shots for all of these, you are seeing a very thicker glossy top coat to glossify them really, really well and plump it out. And next we've got Beautifully Chaotic. This one's described as a neon yellow cream. So neon yellow is typically a touch more finicky than other pigments, at least in my experience for swatching and wearing polish. So I decided to go up to 3 coats on this one. You can see I'm purposely going very light on my coats, and that's just because it is just the slightest bit streaky. So going very light, it plumped up really well on that 3rd coat, and you can see I had really nice coverage, and anything else was pretty much erased once I put in a glossy top coat. So very plump, very nice. I would just be light with the yellow. And your hot mess is showing is described as a bright magenta pink. Now this is going to have a red cast to it. I'm seeing it on my monitor. This is true magenta. Beautiful formula. Again, very, very opaque in how it applies. I'm going in purposely light. You can see on that 1st coat how quickly it's drying down matte. They're not quite the most forgiving, but that opacity is everything. And just note, whenever you go in with a thicker glossy top coat, it again erases any sort of brush strokes or anything that you might have put on there. And next we've got Perfectly Imperfect. This is a bright aqua cream. This one was the other one that I took up to 3 very light coats. It did have a more crelly formula as opposed to straight creamy, thick, wonderful opacity. So I chose to do 3 light. You can kind of get an idea of how light I'm going on that 2nd coat there. It is going a little brushstroke happy, but that's okay because again, a glossy top coat or a thicker top coat of some type was very forgiving and any sort of imperfections just went away after applying that top coat. And next we've got Hot and Bothered. This one is a bright red orange cream. So compared to the other orange, this one is, yeah, it does have some traffic cone vibes to it, but it absolutely has a red undertone to it in person. So I think that reddish cast is kind of doing us a favor on the screen here. So just to give you guys a better idea, I think my full hand shot is more indicative to what I'm seeing in person as opposed to my actual swatches. And then finally, we've got Spicy Disaster. I'm going to go out on a whim and say this is named after yours truly. This is a bright strawberry pink cream. So we have some berry undertones going on with this one. I don't think this skewed as much as what I'm seeing on the other pinks especially. So I think this one's a little more true to what I'm seeing right here in front of me. It's still a little off, but definitely more of a berry pink and absolutely bright. Now, lastly here, this is when I was doing the stamping test and I thought it was a really good representation of what I was seeing. In the center, we've got I'm the Problem, It's Me, true pinky sort of base there. And then all the way to the right, we've got our Spicy Disaster. So you can see that one's more of our nice bright strawberry pink. There's definitely a berry look there. And then lastly, we've got Will It Topper. I'm going to go over the Barbie collection and the Cuppa Deliciousness collection. I'm not going to show the Hot Mess Express as we would not want to put undies over an undie. So first we've got Chai Latte. And of course, at this point, I
in doing this experiment. I think we have an idea of what Crellies are going to look like. Chai Latte looks pretty cool. I think there are some topper capabilities with all four in the collection. You just might want to play around with it. You might also want to maybe stick with colors that somewhat match or even contrast. I don't know. You might have some creativity with these. Taro Milk looks really cool over black. The flakes popped ridiculously well and very shifty. And Strawberry Milk, kind of similar to the first two, Matcha and Chai. These are going to be quite Crelly like, so a little bit of creativity might just take you a long way. And for the Barbie collection, Every Night's Girls Night, I told you guys looks badass as a topper, and it looks ridiculously good over black. It looks great over anything else too. I Am Knuff is not Knuff to be a topper, I'm afraid, at least in my opinion. I think this one is not destined for this. I think he should probably stay in his own lane as his own polish. Beach Off looks really good. You get an idea of more of those little hollow flecks going on in the backdrop. And then our family shot, you can see everyone all nice and dried down.
Lots and lots of pretties from Rogue. So I will link Rogue Lacquer down below in the description box if you want to check out her shop. I will also link the Facebook group if you want to see additional swatches, join that, all that good stuff. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.